Tertiary Institutions Entrepreneurial Scheme pilot launch holding here live at the head office auditorium of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Welcome. Distinguished invited guests, please let all rise as I herald the arrival of the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, our entrepreneurship chapter, our forward-looking, forward-thinking, very introspective and people-centric Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Mr. Goodwill, I am FCIBCON. A round of applause for the Governor. As we remain with the permission of the Governor and the COG, permit me to implore our guests to please rise as we render the national anthem.
Arise, O conqueror, Troy, Nigeria's call obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and might, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. You may be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the management of the Central Bank of Nigeria, it is our pleasure to welcome you very warmly to the pilot launch of the Central Bank of Nigeria Tertiary Institutions Entrepreneurship Scheme, conceptualized by the Central Bank of Nigeria to drive the initiative of expanding the bandwidth of entrepreneurship amongst Nigeria and granting them the enablement to be empowered and rise all the way to the top of the tower. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Central Bank of Nigeria, in its bid to deal very decisively with youth unemployment and underemployment, came up with this initiative, an idea that was mooted by the management of the Nigeria, led by the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, while delivering his lecture at the 61st Convocation Lecture of the University of Lagos in July year 2021. Today, this afternoon, we are witnessing the snowballing and manifestation of this very laudable initiative that is meant to empower our youth and make them individuals that are self-sufficient and self-sustaining. Like it is said in some palaces, the desire of the Central Bank of Nigeria, that young people have skills that will pay the bills. Without further ado, it is now my honor and privilege to welcome very warmly, as I usher in to do all the honors of the welcome, the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, the chief host of today's engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, but now with an enthusiastic round of applause, let us welcome Mr. Goodwill, I am FCIBCON. The Governor, you're welcome.
Your Excellencies, I welcome you all to the Central Bank of Nigeria today, to the official launch of the Tertiary Institutions Entrepreneurship Scheme and the intervention of the Central Bank of Nigeria that is aimed at addressing the dual challenge of youth unemployment and underemployment in Nigeria. This scheme, developed in partnership with the Nigerian polytechnics and universities, is designed to harness the potentials of graduate entrepreneurs by creating a paradigm shift from the pursuit of white-collar jobs to a culture of entrepreneurship for economic development and job creation in Nigeria. As you all are aware, at the occasion of the 51st convocation of the University of Lagos in July 2021, I delivered a convocation lecture titled National Development and Knowledge Economy in the Digital Age, leapfrogging small and medium enterprises into the 21st century. At that event, I promised the Central Bank of Nigeria would seek fresh collaboration with our country's tertiary institutions to develop entrepreneurship programs and to support through the provision of access to finance graduates and undergraduates who have bankable ideas to bring them to fruition. At that event, it was just an idea that occurred at the point of just making my presentation or presenting my lecture at the University of Lagos in July 2021. Basically, again, I was just looking back at the Nigerian educational sector and Nigerian educational system. And I say, and honestly again, looking back at when we were in universities, honestly, perhaps at that time there were few of us that were graduating from the universities. And what we used to see those days would be that by the time you are in your third year or your fourth year, companies, whether it is hospitals, whether it is engineering firms, oil firms, banks, various institutions that play active role in the economy will normally come to the tertiary institutions to interview the students who are graduating with a view to providing them with employment. I say at that time there were few of us. But again, that was when things were good. What am I saying? What this means is that before you graduate from the university, as long as you pass well, you are assured of employment. Indeed, during our time, we find out that before our time, those who had first class, second class offer, the universities themselves would retain them and send them on direct PhD programs abroad. They come back and become lecturers. That was what we saw then again in the Nigerian universities. Unfortunately, today, the trend is different. You find people, our young boys, young girls, not only that when they graduate, there's nobody, or before they graduate, there's nobody that visits them to conduct employment tests or interviews for them. They graduate, complete their NYSC, there are no jobs. And I was at that lecture at the University of Lagos in July 2021. I was lamenting the high incidence of youth unemployment and the fact that something needs to be done. Unfortunately, at this time, because of the large number of people graduating from polytechnics and universities, not only is it that the public institutions cannot even employ, do not have space to employ them, the institutions also do not have space to employ them. But again, we cannot allow our youths to remain at home doing nothing, whereas they also possess certain skills and entrepreneurial values, which if they had those values or skills had been nurtured while at the university, they perhaps would have begun a process of employing not just themselves, but also employing others because of the God-given talents that they do possess. And I was asking the universities and polytechnic authorities by saying, why would they have those large expanses of land? And yet, you have a graduate of agricultural science, a graduate of agri-economics. He graduates and he comes out, he's looking for a job in an oil company. Whereas, if he had been properly trained in the skill of entrepreneurship, he would have to begin to develop his own agricultural, that's what he studied, right? And so he should have been able to begin to But yet, he graduates, and what he does is that he's looking for a job either in a bank or in an oil company or even a public service that today does not have space to employ. And I was asking universities that it would be nice that before they say that somebody would graduate in the first class in agri-economics or in agri-science or extension services, that student who will be graduating should show us what he did. Maybe developing some seeds, high-yield seeds, or what he did in a particular corner in the university where he did some agriculture business and he yielded money for him and also for the university. That was how this idea came about. So, and I thought that we will need to be discussing with the university authorities to see how we can work on developing the entrepreneurial skills of our youth so that when they come out of university, that they would just not look for a job. They themselves will become job creators, not only for themselves, but for people. But indeed, I must say that what I am lamenting today is something that we find being resolved in other climes. There are some universities you attend in the United States or even in London today. Those students, they are taught entrepreneurial skills. They are taken through some forms of internship in the course of their 4-year or 3-year programs. And when those students graduate, even with first class, you tell them you have a job for them. They say, no, they don't need a job, that they want to run their business. That is what we are trying to achieve with this program that we are putting in place. This is our only two way we are trying to say at the Central Bank of Nigeria that we are concerned about the level of unemployment in our youth population and that there is a need for us to see what can be done to solve this problem. So, engagements began and they've been ongoing between the central bank and the leadership of some tertiary institutions regarding the framework for an innovative financing model that will support entrepreneurship development among graduates and undergraduates. This comes from tertiary institutions' entrepreneurship scheme today. Is a combination of the engagement and fulfillment of that promise. with about 600,000 students graduating yearly from Nigerian tertiary institutions, and without the commensurate employment opportunities in both the public and private sectors, it has become imperative that government at all levels put in place policy measures to support entrepreneurial development among our youth. Such measures would create an enabling business ecosystem and directing their focus from seeking white-collar jobs to a culture of entrepreneurship development. The ecosystem should provide support in reorientating, training, and providing a financing model apt to the peculiarity of the sector within which the businesses operate. Ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurship is an integral, and entrepreneurs play a key role in driving growth and innovation, which in turn results in job creation. In line with its mandate of ensuring monetary and price stability, and its developmental mandate of ensuring inclusive growth of the economy, the CBN has introduced several programs that have created an ecosystem that allows the flow of affordable credit to the real sector of our economy. These interventions are industry-led and designed to support the resilience of targeted priority sectors and segments for growth and job creation. With an estimated population of 213 million, out of which two-thirds are youths aged under 35, Nigeria is faced with a historic opportunity, particularly as the demography continues to create clear evidence of their relevance to economic development, as accentuated by the global recognition of the Nigerian tech startups and continued growth of businesses in the technology space owned by the youth. In realization of this, the CBN has introduced several innovative financing programs designed to extend low-cost financing to youth entrepreneurs across the country. These interventions have continued to receive resounding commendations as they have proven effective in extending credit to youth entrepreneurs across the country. For instance, under the targeted credit facility, the CBN has disbursed a total of 363 billion naira to 766,719 beneficiaries, comprising 638,070 households and 128,649 small businesses. Under our agri-business scheme, the bank has released 134 billion to 37,571 entrepreneurs. Disbursements under the National Youth Investment Program so far stands at about 3 billion to 7,057 small business beneficiaries. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as part of measures to promote entrepreneurship development among the graduate and undergraduate youth of the Nigerian polytechnics and universities, the CBN introduced the Tertiary Institutions Entrepreneurship Scheme in October 2021, with the release of the implementation guidelines and the opening of the portal for submission of applications. The scheme is aimed at providing an innovative financing model that will support the development of innovative entrepreneurial ideas among graduates and undergraduates of tertiary institutions in Nigeria. Today's official launch of the Tertiary Institutions Entrepreneurship Scheme and subsequent inauguration of the body of experts for the scheme's developmental component is a testimony of the important roles our youth play new blocks for economic growth, particularly as our national growth is highly dependent on a strong and competitive business. Bridging their financing gaps and enhancing access to low-cost credit to drive development of business is a task that can only be addressed by an innovative financing model that correlates with the complexity and dynamics of these small businesses. Let me say that this scheme was designed to address three verticals of the segment, and these are: one, the term loan component, which provides direct credit opportunities to graduates of Nigerian polytechnics and universities of no more than 7 years post-graduation. An applicant, if successful, shall be eligible for a maximum of 5 million naira for an individual, sole proprietorship or small company, and a maximum of 25 million naira for a partnership or a company. The tenure for the facility is a maximum of 5 years with a 1-year moratorium and at an interest of 5% per annum, which shall revert to 9% by March 2022. The pilot phase of the scheme is presently being implemented through Bank of Industry with the development of an application portal and processing of submitted applications. 2. Equity Investment Program. This component is designed to support startups, existing businesses requiring expansion, and aiding businesses seeking resuscitation. The component shall be implemented under the bank's Ask-Based Equity window. Thus, the investment limit shall be subject to the limit prescribed by our Ask-Based guidelines and the investment period no more than 10 years. 3. Development grant component. This is aimed at raising awareness and visibility of entrepreneurship among undergraduates of Nigerian tertiary institutions. Entrepreneurship competition, where undergraduates are presented by the tertiary institutions to pitch innovative entrepreneurial or technological ideas with transformational potential. 3 top institutions at regional levels shall proceed to the national level, where the top 5 shall be awarded grants ranging between 120 million and 250 million naira. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is instructive to note that grant awards shall be used by the tertiary institutions solely for the development of the award-winning ideas. At this point, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to the body of experts comprising professionals of impeccable standing, drawn from professional bodies and industry. The body has been constituted to evaluate and rank entrepreneurial presentations made by tertiary institutions under the developmental grant component. More importantly, the body of experts shall recommend projects with high potential and transformational impact for grant awards. The body of experts, which will be inaugurated today, comprises the chairman, Sabubakar Suleiman, MD Sterling Bank, Patrick Yamabo, First Bank, member, Adamu Nawani, Zenith Bank, member, Ngova Ihinde Nwampo, Ran Merchant Bank, member, Ashafa Ladan, National Justice Commission, member, Engineer Abati Mohammed, National Board of Technical Education, member, Dr. Friday Opara Smida, member, Mr. Tokwe Fasua, Global Analytics Consulting, member, Brigadier General Fulusho Unilola, National Defense College, member, Bolanle Adekoya, PricewaterhouseCoopers, member, and the Secretary will be Tokwe Akin. Today as well, checks shall be presented to 5 beneficiaries under the term loan component of the scheme. These beneficiaries are among the many who submitted their applications via the dedicated portal at the Bank of Industries and their applications processed. I'd like to urge the recipients also to judiciously utilize the funds for the purpose for which they are indicated in the applications. It is my strong belief that the scheme will offer our youth entrepreneurs access to much needed finance, which has been identified as one of the major limiting factors to entrepreneurship development in Nigeria. Credit, access to credit, inability of some of the, I call them the weak, the vulnerable, to be able to have access to knock at the door of a bank manager has been an impediment for people to express their entrepreneurial skills. And what we are seeking to do through this is to unlock your potentials by making it easy for you to access credit, for you to explore yourselves and develop yourselves, create jobs for yourselves and also for others. This is the reason we keep emphasizing that this is a loan. It is not a grant. And we will appeal to you that just like you have indicated in your application that is submitted through a portal, use it for the purpose for which it is meant. Because we feel that you genuinely have good intention, that's the reason you feel in the portal of the purpose for which you need the loan. And we believe that you have your business plans, you've done your feasibility before you submitted your application to the portal. If this has been done, and you say that your major hindrance, which is credit, and we make that credit available to you, we believe that we have tried as much as possible to play a major part to open you up, unleash your potentials to the world, not only for your good, for the good of others that will benefit through job creation, but also more importantly, for the good of our nation and the economic development of our country. We are aware that there has been agitation by some tertiary institutions that were not included in the pilot phase of the scheme. Let me reiterate here that with the launch of the Tertiary Institutions Entrepreneurship Scheme today, other deserving tertiary institutions will be brought on board over time, with ongoing dialogue and engagement with other segments of the educational sector. Feedbacks received shall form the basis for the periodic review of the guidelines with the intent to scale up participation under the scheme in future. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me restate. The central bank stood to an unrelenting commitment to supporting our nation's educational sector in all ramifications, as without a robust educational sector, wholesome development shall remain a mirage. I believe with the launch of this tertiary return to the glory days, where the churned-out graduates not only ready and able to provide real solutions to the various challenges emanating from their immediate environment and even beyond, but who can compete favorably with their counterparts in any part of the world. I'd like to conclude by remarking a clarion call to our Nigerian youths, particularly our graduates and undergraduates, that they should not succumb to the weight of despair being faced by the nation. I challenge you today to pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. Take up the challenge of undertaking that paradigm shift by applying innovative and creative thinking in providing solutions capable of creating wealth and value for yourselves, for your friends, for your family, for for your community, and your nation at large. I thank you for your attention.
Accept our salutations of gratitude, the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, the human powerhouse behind this paradigm shift in moving the entrepreneurship landscape in Nigeria to a whole new level. A man with the illuminating insights of a visionary, and of course, the unrelenting doggedness of a missionary. Ladies and gentlemen, let's salute the Governor of the Central Bank once again, whatever our applause. I'll now pass on the microphone to my co-anchor for the next string of items on the program, and we will carry on with the rest of the proceedings. Donna.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we will take a goodwill message from the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, who is here ably represented by the Director of Public Affairs and Bilateral Relations. Ladies and gentlemen, put your heads together and make welcome Mr. Olakunle Fashina.
The Governor, Central Bank of Nigeria, the Deputy Governors, representative of the Honorable Minister of State for Education, distinguished guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Here this afternoon to represent the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and to present this speech on his behalf. He would have loved to be here personally to read this speech, but for other equally pressing official assignments. So I'll just go ahead and read the speech of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Paul Mustafa, as directed me to. I'm very delighted and excited to be here today at the formal launch of yet another scheme by the Central Bank of Nigeria in its traditional role of maintaining low inflation and steady economic growth by providing opportunities for creating wealth that is sustainable, not only on an individual basis, but also on an aggregate collective platform. I want to use this opportunity to commend the management and staff of the Central Bank of Nigeria for their tremendous effort in making sure that the Nigerian economy remained afloat in spite of the vagaries brought upon us by the COVID-19 pandemic. My excitement here today is underscored by the fact that the Tertiary Institutions Entrepreneurship Scheme is not only to boost economic growth and reduce graduate unemployment, but also it is going to be a well-grounded incentive for our ever-growing graduate population for a mentality shift from white-collar jobs to employment creators. That Nigerian graduates are far too long dependent and relied on white-collar jobs as a means of livelihood is a function of our development trajectory. Because when we to not only take over from our colonial masters, but more importantly, to manage our resources ourselves. However, as our population grew, it became increasingly clear that government alone cannot absorb the growing number of people seeking employment. Equally important was the fact that the face of development was changing from the impact of globalization, where each country has to have its own comparative advantage as part of the Community of Nations. The changing dynamics of the manufacturing now being provided by information, communication and technology, as well as creative arts, which are mostly youth-driven and then engenders the need to have access to financial services to engage in such enterprises. I particularly note that the Tertiary Institutions Entrepreneurship Scheme (TICE) was developed by the CBN in collaboration with polytechnics and universities. I just want to call on all the polytechnics and universities to ensure the use of merit in selecting the beneficiaries of the scheme. That they will monitor the key performance indicators and that applications are submitted for more eligible activities. Once more, I commend the CBN for this effort, and it is my honor to formally launch the Tertiary Institutions Entrepreneurship Scheme, TIES. I thank you all for your attention. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. As always, it is very heartwarming to note that the interventions of the central bank have the full backing of the federal government. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. We will take another goodwill message from the Honorable Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, here represented by the Director of University Education, Mrs. Rakia Ilyasu. Make her welcome, please.
The Governor of the Central Bank, Mr. Goodwill CON, the Deputy Governors here present, the representative of the SGF, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, good afternoon. This is a goodwill message by the Honourable Minister hereby presented. I am pleased on behalf of the Honourable Minister to be present on this occasion of the formal launch of the Tertiary Institutions Tertiary Institution Entrepreneurship Scheme, TIES. My presence here today is not only to identify with this laudable initiative of the Governor of the Central Bank in promoting entrepreneurial skills among graduates of the polytechnics and universities in Nigeria, but as well as acknowledging the role of the CBN in laying a solid foundation for technological development in our tertiary institutions. It is certainly obvious that no country can make appreciable growth in sound technological innovation and sustainable development without focusing at the base, which are the institutions responsible for training the students in the fields of agribusiness, information technology, creative industries, among others. It is on record that the scheme is designed to create a paradigm shift among undergraduates and graduates from the pursuit of white-collar jobs to a culture of entrepreneurship geared towards job creation and economic growth. The initiative of the CBN should be seen as a collaborative effort of the government in strengthening the existing curriculum in our tertiary institution that will enhance the entrepreneurial ecosystem with transformational impact on the economy. This is in line with this administration policy of establishing entrepreneurial centers in our institution. It is worthy of note that the scheme also focuses on promoting gender balance in entrepreneurship development through capacity development and improve access to finance. This will further create job opportunities for future of Education is in full support of this laudable initiative and willing to render adequate assistance in ensuring the smooth take-off of the scheme towards achieving the desired objectives. It is against this backdrop that all the relevant stakeholders in the tertiary institution should key into the scheme and create enough awareness for their respective students to take advantage of the scheme to develop themselves. On this note, I wish to commend the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria and other local organizing committee for this laudable initiative, and it is my belief that it will be a reference point in drawing inspiration on our youth's engagement in strengthening national economy. Thank you.
Many thanks to you, representative of the Honorable Minister of Education of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a Director of University Education, at the ministry in the person of Mrs. Rekia Ilyasu. Thank you, madam, for conveying the heartfelt thoughts of the presentation of checks to beneficiaries, selected qualified beneficiaries of the pilot scheme of the Central Bank of Nigeria Tertiary Institution Entrepreneurship Scheme, and no other could there be a person to do them the honors of making this presentation than the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Presentation invites the Governor of the CBN, Mr. Goodwill, IMF, FCIB, CEO. So the governor has granted me the mandate to do a pre-bio of the beneficiaries for this pilot scheme. First, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the person of Aisha Suleiman. Aisha, please come forward. She is a graduate of the Bayero University, Kano, where she obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in Applied Biology, graduating in the year 2014. She is an indigene of Kogi State and her business location is in Kogi State. I'll now hand over the microphone to the governor Okay, that's first. The second beneficiary of this pilot scheme, a round of applause. It is also important to mention that Aisha is into the cashew nut processing business. She has 7 staff in her employ and currently rents processing machines to process her cashew nuts. Congratulations, Aisha. Next, in the order of beneficiaries, ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome Chukwudi Obabi. Chukwudi is a graduate of the Federal Polytechnic, Ebonyi State, where he armed himself with a Bachelor of Science in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, graduating in the year 2013. He is into solar power energy production. He purchases components for inverters in the Nigerian market and builds the inverters to suit the specific electricity usage required for people in the rural areas and beyond. Chiburi, congratulations. And interestingly, he's from my home state. The third beneficiary of this pilot scheme, an initiative of the Central Bank of Nigeria, is Zainab Mohammed. Zainab is a graduate of the Federal Polytechnic, Bidda in Niger State, where she obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in Quantity Surveying, graduated in the year 2014. Zainab is into rice milling business with 3 staff in her employ. A round of applause for her. Congratulations, Zainab. Ladies and gentlemen, next in the line of beneficiaries, let's make welcome Noura Mohammed Abdullahi. Noura is a graduate of the Kano State Polytechnic, where he obtained a higher national diploma in animal production and technology, graduating in the year 2015. He is into egg production. He currently has 400 to 6 to 7 months laborers at that very facility, and his business is thriving and very, very promising. Ladies and gentlemen, Noura Mohammed Abdullahi, a round of applause for him, please. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, next in the order of beneficiaries, let's make welcome Simeon Ojonugwa Ojobane. Simeon, please come forward. A graduate of the Kogi State University, where he obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in economics, graduating in the year 2015. He is into communication, mobile money, and internet services, providing mobile money services and acts as an intermediary between mobile money operators for issuance of POS to merchants. He also provides POS and computer accessory services. A round of applause for him, please. Last is one more person. Last is certainly not the least, and for some circumstances beyond his control, he is unavoidably absent, but it is necessary that we actually announce that he is a beneficiary of the scheme. Ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate in absentia Adebowale Olawi. He is a graduate of the University of Lagos, where he obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in accounting, and he graduated in the year 2016. Adebowale is into digital printing press and garment making. He currently has 7 staff in his employ and 4 interns. With the permission of the governor, we'll invite the Director of Development Finance or top management of DLP to receive. Oh, there's Dr. Adebowale. The check is not here, but we'll get it across to the beneficiary eventually. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'd like to congratulate these young men, I don't want to call them boys, young men and young ladies, for being the first beneficiaries of our TIES scheme. Looking at them, I just see young body people. They look so ordinary today. I'd like to appeal to you, and I would implore the press to interview them before they leave. And let's keep a tracker on them. And let's see, in another 2 years, in another 5 years, whether they will be coming in just simple afternoon to see us here, or they will be coming with their big vehicles and they will be showing us a video of how they have expanded their business. That is what we seek to achieve. These young men and women, upon graduation from school, from the University or Polytechnics, would have been at home doing nothing. They have had their qualification, quantity surveyor, accountants, engineers. They are there. They played their part by going to school. And here, they graduated. They decided, just like I said, not that there's no job, because they refused to allow the challenge of no job to set them back. They chose to begin to do something. They chose to begin to become entrepreneurs, employing people. Yes, less than 10 staff. I congratulate them because they are creating jobs, not just for themselves, for 1, 2 to 10 people. I'd like to encourage our youth to please see these young men and women as role models that they can follow. What we will say is that there's a portal that is available through the Bank of Industries. go to the portal, genuinely fill your application forms. We will try as much as possible to ensure that we respond to you. We will hold your BVN. We will hold copies of your certificate because that will be your collateral, like I said. But we know we're just holding it just to be seen to play our roles as bankers. We will give you back your certificate. You will come back and ask for your certificate and you give us our money at 5 million plus interest. You will go to other banks. They will not begin to give you more money, more than 5. They will give you 50, 100, billions. That is how to grow. And that is what we seek and pray for you. So I congratulate you. It's still
Thank you very much, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, for doing us the honors of presenting the ceremonial checks to beneficiaries of the pilot scheme of ties. Distinguished guests, leading to yet another high point of this engagement, and that is the formal inauguration of the body of experts for the scheme. I'll respectfully call the gentlemen and ladies that would constitute the body of experts, and after which the governor of the central bank will formally inaugurate them. We have their very brief bios here. We'll spin through them very quickly, and they will afterwards be inaugurated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, first, the chairperson of the body of experts of the Central Bank of Nigeria Tertiary Institutions Entrepreneurship Scheme. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, let's make welcome Mr. Abubakar Suleiman. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Sterling Bank PLC, your customer, once customer bank with over 20 years of experience in the banking industry. The top priority is to optimize the impact of financial intermediation in critical sectors that can catalyze growth and create a future of shared prosperity for all Nigerians. Ladies and gentlemen, yet again, a round of applause for the chairman of the board of experts.
Welcoming a member of the board, Mr. Patrick Iyamago, who is the Group Chief Financial Officer, First Bank PLC. Prior to joining First Bank, he worked with FCMB Group PLC as well as Arthur Anderson, Booz Allen Hamilton, and Leck Consulting in various capacities. He has over 25 years experience in audit, risk management, business development, accounting, and finance with institutions within and outside Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Patrick Iyamaru.
Stringing along, next, member of the body of experts of ties. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome Mr. Nawani. There's the group head, corporate banking, conglomerates, consumer credit, aviation, breweries, and beverages group. He also held senior management roles in multinationals and large corporate units and retail and operations departments of the bank. Prior to his banking career, he worked with Ugo, Oderin and Co. audit and consulting firm, Benin City, as well as the Agile Nigerian PLC, a major player in the oil and gas industry. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Mr. Adamu Nawani.
Our next member is a corporate and institutional banking executive with 20 years experience in financial services across a wide range of functions, including corporate relationship management, sales, credit, transaction banking, remedial accounts management, and risk. Put your hands together as we welcome Ms. Ngoga Ihembe Wampo.
Next in line among this formidable body of experts, ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome the person of Mr. Ashafa Ladan. He has served Justice Commission for over 28 years. He served in various capacities, including the postgraduate division from the university's Research Funds and Corporation Division, Special Projects Division, Research Planning and Administration Division, Innovation Division, E-Learning Division, University Industry and Entrepreneurship of the Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause once again for Mr. Ashafa Nana.
Our next distinguished member is Engineer Abati D.K. Mohammed. He is the Director, Vocational, Technical and Skills Development of the National Board of Technical Education. He was a country consultant to the Skills Initiative for Africa and has also worked as an international consultant to UNESCO. Ladies and gentlemen, Engineer Abati D.K. Mohammed.
Next up, I have the pleasure of inviting, as a member of the body of experts, Dr. Friday Okpara, a round of applause for him, an entrepreneurship educator and a small business development specialist. He is the founder and patron of the Entrepreneurship Club, University of Abuja. He was a lecturer and assistant professor at the Department of Business Administration, University of Abuja, and the University of Gondar in Ethiopia. He previously served as the President, Center for Entrepreneurship Development and Small Business Management, CETSEM, and the Megatalk Management Limited. He is currently the Director, Partnership and Coordination, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency, SMEDI. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Dr. Friday Okpara.
Our next member is Ms. Bolanle Adekoya, who is a chartered accountant and partner at accounting advisory leader in West Africa and sits on the West Market Board as the board and transformation leader. She has over 21 years experience in providing professional consulting services in complex financial reporting accountant, structuring transactions, transformation, financial due diligence, mergers and acquisitions, and capital raising to clients in various industries. Ms. Bolanle Adekoya.
Gentlemen, next on the itinerary of introductions to our BOE, ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome Mr. Tope Kolade. Limited, an international consulting firm with its headquarters in Abuja, the FCT. Fashua has authored over 2,000 newspaper columns on newspapers and 10 books. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Mr. Tope Kolade Fashua.
Next we have Brigadier General Folusho Umilola, who is the Director, Coordination, National Defense College. He has several honors and awards which include the River Niger Star, Nigerian Army Purple Heart, Field Command Medal, and Distinguished Service Star. Ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Folusho Umilola.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is now the turn of yet another member of the body of experts and our very own, ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Temitope Akin Fari. Is the Associate Head, Strategy and Policy Development of the Development Finance Department at the Central Bank of Nigeria. She has 21 years of banking experience with background in development finance, financial inclusion, strategy, operations, digital financial services, microfinance, retail banking, product development, and international money transfers. She is a strong advocate for the elimination of barriers that hinder the economic citizenship of people. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause very enthusiastically for our own Ms. Fari.
And last but not least is Mr. Adamu Lawani. Is he already? Okay.
And now it is
what? Let me, I think, I don't know how to do this, but it's just to say that I hereby, right? I hereby inaugurate the body of experts for the Tertiary Institutions Entrepreneurship Scheme. Now, what are they going to be doing? Aside from the gentlemen and ladies application that go to the portal, which is done, this body of experts, which I'm so gratified, are all youth, both in looking at them facially, are all youthful and also in spirit. They will be assessing some of the entrepreneurial ideas that will be harvested from our various tertiary institutions, Nigerian universities, and Nigerian professors. You can see the professors are not here. They are there doing their research. All of us here went to the University of Polytechnic here in Nigeria. They know the state those institutions were when they were there. They know the state they are today. We would want now, you can imagine the students. Now, students of those days, accountants, engineers are all here. They will now be assessing the research work of their lecturers and professors of those days. They will be drawn from all over the country, 3 from each of the geopolitical zones, and after that, the research work will eventually come and there will be winners and awards to be presented. This is meant to really go back to our universities and polytechnics and get them back to work again. We will be assessing them. And I repeat, our style is always to be very open and transparent. Nigerians will see the process, the level of diligence members of this group of experts.
I guess, the starting point is to say that whatever you do, we will challenge the corridors of power. So we stand here knowing that the quality of work we must do will be such that wherever it is challenged, it will stand as the test of time. That is the only promise we can make. So we start from day one believing that our work will be questioned. The second comment is to say that it is an honor to stand with my colleagues here. Many of them I have known for a long time from my own university, the University of Abuja, and I will be evaluating the work of my professors for sure. But I'm really honored to be here, to be given this responsibility, and I want to reassure the governor that we will do everything humanly possible so that wherever this work is subject to the searchlight, it will stand the test of time. But secondly, I also want to add that we recognize that the central bank only sets the tone. They show what is possible. And the only way the work of the central bank can scale is that those of us in the private sector, not just the banks, but those in the private sector, understand that it is possible, and on the back of that, we then bring in additional resources. And I want to reassure, again, the Committee of Governors and the Governor that we will do everything possible so that the work that the central bank has started will scale and will go beyond what has been started here. So thank you very much. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you very much. Just before members of the body of experts return to their seats, we want to capture this moment and a group photograph. First, we'll have the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. He will join the BOA alongside the deputy governors of the Central Bank of Nigeria for the group photograph, after which will follow in sequence. The beneficiaries will join afterwards. Thank you.
The mask out. Just right. Well, you only remove your mask for 1 second. So when you're ready, right? When the press is ready. Ready?
In the order of photography, please, the beneficiaries of the pilot scheme of the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Tertiary Institution's Entrepreneurship Scheme, aka TIES. The governor, in the company of the deputy governors, will please join, please come along with your commemorated checks. Please step forward.
Okay, ready? All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just before we close, we want to once again appreciate the management of the Central Bank of Nigeria for setting the stage for local initiatives to empower, in this instance, our youth. And like I said earlier, at the beginning of this program, the essence is to see to it that we empower our young people with skills to pay the bills. Ladies and gentlemen, may we all rise for the national anthem.
The first stanza of the national anthem. Let's sing together. Arise, O compatriot, Nigeria's call obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The name of our heroes shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
While we remain Central Bank of Nigeria in the company.
Please interview these gentlemen and ladies, please. Okay?
This is a call to gentlemen of the press to conduct your interviews at the lobby of the auditorium. Please, while we remain standing very respectfully, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria in the company of the deputy governors here present, the DGFSS, DGCS, and DG Ops, as well as the chairman of the body of experts and managing director, chief executive officer still in that will now take their lead. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for pass.
My mask.